The readings for this Sunday allows us to reflect together on the nature of authority. Jesus leads his disciples to this area known as Caesarea Philippi, which is outside of what these apostles would have been usually used to. It is a Gentile area, an area filled with pagan worship. And there Jesus asked them this famous question: who do people say that the Son of Man is? And they offered up the typical responses. Maybe John the Baptist, maybe Elijah, maybe Jeremiah. But clearly the disciples aren't really thinking it through. They are just kind of regurgitating certain things that have been heard or said. Jesus then asked them a much more personal question. But who do you say that I am? With that, Jesus points to a greater reality, that our authority is not, the nature of authority is not just from books or from hearsay, but rather it does come from the source of truth, goodness, and beauty, God himself. And it is Simon Peter who spoke up. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus affirms this answer. Blessed are you. You didn't just say this because you have figured it out. You say this because it has been revealed by God, the Father in heaven. You see, faith is ultimately a gift. It is a grace from God himself. And though we may study and we may scrutinize sacred scripture and the teachings of the church and so forth, until we enter into this deeper personal relationship with God, we do not really know him. And that's because God is utterly transcendent. He is not of this world. He cannot be of this world, because if he was, then he would be a limited creature like us. Those pagan gods, for example, in Caesarea Philippi, they would be akin to that. They are the figment of human imagination. They are what is developed by our ways. But as St. Paul reminds us in the second reading, God's ways are not our ways. Who has known the mind of the Lord, he says, or who has been his counselor, or who has given a gift to him to receive a gift in return? For from him and through him and to him are all things. God lies beyond our human capacity to grasp. But he does reveal, and he does share his life with us. And in so doing, he also shares authority. And here's the remarkable part, because our authority cannot be from just human reasoning or our human minds or a sheer, grasp for power. That is what the world suggests is a power, this kind of game of power. But with the Lord is completely different. It is the one who humbly submits, surrenders himself to this higher power. That is then, he is then, or she is entrusted with true authority. And this authority is not an authority to lord over others. Rather, it is one of service. It is one of obedience. It is one of converting one's mind and will to God. Notice how Jesus suggests two aspects: shackles and freedom. When we submit ourselves to this higher authority, then we shackle ourselves, if you can, to this higher truth, to these principles. We live with integrity. We do not deviate on whim or to the doctrine of relativism. At the same time, we discover that it is in submitting ourselves in obedience that we have true, authentic freedom. And this is what the church has always been preaching, to discover the true freedom that lies within surrendering to God. So my friends, I ask you now, who do you say that Jesus is?